let's look at 10 negotiation tactics. Let's get into the real meat of this thing. If you're going to negotiate, absolutely, positively, critical is preparing for that negotiation. You must know what you want. You must know what you're willing to settle for. If you think you're going to get everything you want every time you negotiate, you're in trouble because you're not. You're going to have some concessions. So you want to be clear on what you want, and you need to also try to understand what the other party wants. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What department do they work for? How much power do they have? How much money do they have? Those sorts of things. Okay? That really going to help you do negotiation. Pay attention to timing. If you're going and you're going to be asking for money, or asking for time, or asking for talent, and you're sitting down with your supervisors, don't sit down and say, I need more people. Okay? You haven't set it up, you haven't given any argument, you haven't done anything, and your timing was off. Okay? The comment might be right, but you have to watch when you ask for it. Leave behind your ego. Okay? You really have to focus on this isn't a me versus you. This is not I'm better than you, you're better than me. This is I need this, I want this, and what do I have to do to negotiate with you to get it? Ramp up your listening skills. The absolutely best thing you can do is be quiet. You know, if you're having a conversation with someone and they're talking and it's your turn to talk, and if you don't talk, they resume again. Have you ever noticed that? People will do that. So you let them talk. Ask them questions. Secrets of my marriage. You don't say, I didn't know that. I can carry on a conversation with my wife for 3 hours just saying those 3 things. Okay? Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when I do that, I actually listen instead of me going on about my day. Because it's easy for me to come home and talk about my day. But she has an entirely different day, and it's really not a major concern to me because it's not my day. But it's important to her. So by saying those things, it gives her an opportunity to vent and talk, and me an opportunity to listen. But that's all I have to say. Sorry, ladies. It's my secret. No one else, I'm sure, subscribes to that. Okay, if you don't ask, you don't get it. You can't go in a negotiation and think that they're going to figure out what you want and offer it to you. Okay? Some people do this when they're going in for a raise. They won't actually mention money. It's I'm just doing this great job, I'm working hard and waiting for your boss to say, my gosh, you need more money, let me give it to you. Not going to happen. So you need to ask for it. Now, if it's in the case of a salary negotiation, the first thing you want to do is you want to aim high. But you have to make a realistic high. For example, I've looked at APA, I've looked at IFMA, and I've looked at a couple other sources, and I looked at the range for my position. And the high part of that range is $175,000. And I think that that'd be appropriate. Okay? So you've got a range. You might get it, you might not. But if you start with what you want, say you want 125. If you start with 125, you're going to be negotiating down. Okay? So start high, make it realistic. Come down to where you really want to be. Anticipate compromise. Rarely is it going to be, makes sense, you got it. Okay? Sometimes, if there are cases where you're looking at projects and you're trying to identify, look, we need to do this project, this is what it's going to cost, this is going to be the benefit, you might get an okay. But in other cases of negotiation of position, of changing positions, of salary, there's going to be some other issues there. Offer and expect commitment. This is what I'm committing to do for this department. And as I understand, if I hear you correctly, this is what you're committing to me. Is that right? That's right. Okay. I'm going to send you a short email just jotting down those bullet points just so we're both clear. Okay? Because if you're not, once you can be in a meeting and agree all day, I can assign each one of you something to do, and you're all going to agree to do it, and you walk out of this room and nobody wrote anything down, who's going to get anything done? Not going to happen. You're dreaming if you think it is. Don't absorb their problem. Look, I know you've got some bad roofs. I understand that, but the library needs new books, and we've got to get money for the library. That's their problem, not your problem. Okay? I understand that library needs books, and I support that. But we have needs too, and generally there's money in some other department, some other pocket that we can tap into to be able to get this. Okay? So don't let them give you the problem. Stick to your principles. Don't sacrifice your ideals. Don't sacrifice your professionalism. Don't sacrifice your ethics. Sometimes you can not negotiate to the fullest benefit, and sometimes you just need to walk away. I'm not lying for you. I'm not lying for this company. I'm not changing that. I'm not falsifying this. I'm not ignoring this problem. I brought it to you. It needs to be addressed. I'm going to be on record with that. And go with that. And then confirm as you close. Now, there are a number of different philosophies or different ways you can do this. Here's a really good way for you folks that are high up. Realize when this comes to you from your people, from you people that may be high up or not, but want to have more money. This is a great technique for making more money. Okay. Also, a good technique when you're dealing with anybody over dollars is that if I'm going to negotiate with you over dollars, you would never expect me to lower my own price. Is he crazy? Okay? So, here's an example. I had a company that I was working with, and we were developing some educational courses. And they said, well, we generally pay $15,000 for this course. So I can understand that. I said, I've done courses before, and I typically charge $24,000 for courses. But understanding that you typically only pay $15,000, I'm willing to come off my price and do it for you for $19,000. Okay, I've negotiated both positions. You'd be surprised how well that works. They automatically assume, well, this guy's really trying to help out. He's already dropped his price. You might counter-offer back and forth, but you will get far more than $15,000. People don't expect you to throw out the first number. And not the first number, but the first sacrifice. Okay, so that's a good technique. Another technique, and this could be done in lots of cases, everybody gets some clothes dry cleaned, right? Save up for a couple of weeks, go to the dry cleaner, throw a pile on them, say, look, I want you to be my dry cleaner. This is what you can expect from me. What can you do for me? You will get a better price. You know why? 2 birds in the hand is worth 1 bird in the hand. Something about birds. 1 bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Okay, you're there handing me stuff. I can drop my price down and get this business, or keep my price up and get no business. You will get the work. They will do that. Negotiating with vendors and contractors. We have vendors and contractors, business partners in here. Okay, this can go both ways. Economy's been bad. Things have been tough. Okay, so what we did is we called in all of our vendors and all of our contractors one at a time and said this, look, times are tough. They're tough for you. They're tough for us. We can't afford, we need you to make some sacrifices. And here's what we'll do. If you drop your price 3%, we will change our contract from an annual contract to a 5-year contract. So you know you got work with us for 5 years. What would you say to that as a vendor? Absolutely, 5 years worth of work. We had a contractor that went from 3% to 9% for a 7-year contract. Fine with me. So in that, it happened to be an elevator company, and so being the negotiator I am, I called the other. We had 2 service providers. I called the other service provider and said, look, here's the deal. You can do whatever you make the decision. I'm going to keep you regardless. But if you drop to and meet the other contractor, the other vendor of 9%, we'll extend your contract for 7 years. No problem. Do it. It worked that well. This is a win-win. We got lower prices. I saved a ton of money. They got work guaranteed for the next 5 to 7 years. It was a great deal. So just one of the things you can do. Attorneys. Attorney fees, when you call an attorney, need some work done, those fees are negotiable too. They don't. The attorneys, sometimes some of them may make a lot of money, but it's not guaranteed. They still have to have revenue coming in too. So they're willing to negotiate. They're willing to negotiate billing rates. They're willing to negotiate the retainers. A lot of vendors are willing to negotiate their reimbursables. Travel time, you can negotiate all of that. I've had vendors tell me, okay, we're going to charge you $150 an hour, portal to portal. Okay, I'm in Dallas. Where are you? I'm in Seattle. Okay, what do you mean by portal to portal? Well, when I leave my house till I get to SMU, that's all part of the deal. So if you're at the airport and there's a snow delay and you're stuck there, yeah, you pay $150 an hour. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. So you negotiate that, figure out how you want to do it, and they'll negotiate with you. And if they're really hard and won't, and you can find someone else to do the service, you find someone else to do the service. It's all negotiable.